Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is the Midlands to London on Transport Fever 2. In today's episode we're going to attempt to build the Grand Junction up in Birmingham, which basically is where the West Coast Main Line splits off to go to its different destinations, and it's a crucial part of the West Coast Main Line in Birmingham. In the last episode we built a bit of the... Metropolitan Line? Yeah, the Metropolitan Line up towards Watford, and we built Harrow on the Hill as well. There was a little bit of a mishap with the recording of an episode in which I built... what did I build? I built, I think, some of this track here in an episode, but I lost the audio to that. Well, I didn't press the mic on button because I'd had the mic off for something. So yeah, but what I did in that episode, which was lost, was show you this Marylebone station, which we built a couple of episodes back now, but I've just subscribed to the mod which lets you put in vanilla buildings as assets, basically. So I've put this building in amongst the Marylebone station just so it looks a little bit better, and it's actually not... It's obviously not super accurate, but it doesn't actually look too bad, I don't think. It represents kind of what's there, so I'm pretty pleased with how this is looking overall with Marylebone. That's all done now. We've got the Met line here, which needs to go somewhere at some stage, but we've got quite a bit in now up towards Watford here. Obviously, because we haven't got any of the underground lines in, we can't put any services on yet, but I think I would like to at some stage get some services going up to Watford, stopping at Harrow on the Hill, just to get some trains operating and make this look a little bit more lively. We've got a lot of kind of loose ends to tie up, as you can see here and here, down here as well, and you've got this line obviously wants to go to a station. I'm not going to build Uxbridge, but I'm just going to build the station just as a terminus for those services. I might link it up with a bus or something, but yeah, that's... I'm still trying to be careful how many towns and things I build, because obviously I don't want to overwhelm my computer, because we are only, episode 16 now, and we've still got so much to do up in the distance there. So yeah, it's slowly coming together, but I think we need to escape London for a little while and do some other little bits and bobs, because I would like to start building the West Coast Main Line up towards Birmingham. And looking at it, I think the West Coast Main Line is probably going to be more of a straightforward build. The Milton Keynes flyover at Rugeley is fairly straightforward, but I think one of the biggest and most complex builds is the Grand Junction. Just having a look at this, where's Coventry? Coventry's over here, so things are a little bit off with regards to like where everything's pointing. I will make it work. I think I have had a look at this already, and I can make it work, but it's obviously not massively accurate. I don't know, not quite sure how I end up. I think it's just with the placement of New Street and what we did here. So as we come out of New Street heading southeast, like the track bears off to the left a little bit more than it probably ought to. That was just to get more street in, so everything, and then so basically this track here needs to start to curve in towards the Coventry direction, so we're going to curve it right in. Yeah, so not completely happy with that, but it's just the way things fell, I think, with the construction. And obviously this map not being a true north-south map, everything's a little bit skew anyway, so it's not like massively unrealistic. Obviously we've got the scale issue as well. So what we're doing here is building some of the Grand Union Junction. Try not to say Grand Union Canal, that's something quite different. I know it's in the same sort of area, but yeah, this is the junction we're building. So it's the West Coast Main Line on an embankment, or not an embankment, on one of them, viaduct, brick arch bar viaduct. I think I'm procrastinating a little bit. Can I build junctions on viaducts? Yes, I can. That's good. So first things first, straightforward bit is just this like crossover slewing thing here. And then we're going to start getting into the realms of more tricky construction, I think. I just want to double check Google, actually. Yeah, I would have liked... Actually, can I just get rid of some of this? So get rid of that. And then I think I'm just going to try and lower the terrain a little bit here. A little bit more. Just low enough so that we don't end up with water, but I just want to generate a bridge. Now I did have, I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, I have got the Zero Height Bridge mod subscribed to, but I don't seem to be able to get it to work properly. I'm not sure if you have to turn it on and then reload the game, which is just a bit of a faff. So we will just put that in there, because just what I want to do is get rid of some of this. So I would like this kind of these arches replicated for a little bit, just because like they're there and they're quite a prominent feature of the West Coast Main Line as it comes through Birmingham. Can I perhaps do some more? Have I got a bit enough scope here? If I just lower some of this again, and then I just bring that terrain. No, that's not low enough. Maybe a little bit more. One more. Let's see what that does. Lower this terrain here, and then come in with the track. Yeah, that's allowed us to do a little bit of the arches, just so they're replicated. And then just want a nice straight piece of track, if you will. And again, let's just delete some of this then. So we want the arches, I guess, to about here. No, you want to be probably on the flat at this stage. Well, that doesn't look flat. Flat and straight. Something a bit like that. Although, does it want to be straight? I don't, because yeah, we've got to always have Coventry. I think what I'll do, actually, I will build a road. I think I might delete it later, but what I want to do is just build a road which gives us our visual representation of where we need to be heading, so we can kind of get in, make sure we're in the right direction. So if I start to delete some of this track, now this track here is supposed to be straight as it comes out of Birmingham onto that like viaduct, but obviously we do need to start to curve towards Coventry, so we will put that in. What we're using, that one there. No, oh yeah, that one. So yeah, it's supposed to be straight, but obviously we can't be, because we need to be heading towards Coventry. So we'll put a little bit of a curve on it. So we'll have the brick arch viaduct to about there, just so it's there. We've got a little bit of a flavour of it. And then yeah, to about there. Good. And then the rest of it wants to be kind of on embankment or ground level. So I think I would like actually to bring this down towards the ground, just to make our life a little bit easier. So we'll join that up like so. And then we'll have this switch in to about there. I'm not sure if it's going to get used. What sort of speed? 37 is a little bit slow, but never mind. And then we'll get rid of this track. No, it's not going to let me get rid of. So put a node in, get rid of that then, and that. And then we want to do something. So this wants to, actually no, we need to get rid of a little bit more of that. No, we're not going to be allowed to. Just put a node in, please. Thank you. That's good. Right, get rid of that. And then this wants to start to go up. Yeah, so that wants to start to go up, and then this wants to start to go down. And then we need to kind of separate these two. Like so. Am I? Yeah. Just making sure I'm on the right page here. So this is going to be going up and towards, where's the Gravelly Hill area. So I think, right, we'll get this track. So this coming down, it just looks like where this crosses, it looks like it's a standard bridge. So I don't think using the flyover, the flying junction mod in this particular instance would be accurate. So, oh no, we can't do that anyway. Ooh, this is going to be quite tricky. Right, so a little bit more track, and then a little bit more of that as well. So we've got that in there, and then before we do anything, we need a switch here. So I'm trying to get this accurate with all the switches. We never know when you actually might need some of these switches. And then we want another bit of track actually coming off like so. So we've got another bit coming off there like that. And then I think I'll get rid of, oh no, I can't get rid of, it's an annoying thing with this, you can't, like if I delete that piece of track there, I won't be able to read, it'll do that. Oh, we'll have the switch, that's alright. Never mind, okie dokie, we'll get rid of that then. So I just want a little tiny bit of a stub of track, and then I want another stub alongside it. And then I can get rid of, yeah, it's that when it's awkward. So if I come off there, just go alongside. No, alright, start from here. No, definitely not. Yeah, that's when things are awkward. No, now it won't run alongside. Okie dokie, run alongside. Switch across. And then another switch coming off here for this track. And then where's there it is, the snap Right, so far so good. Now this track wants to start to go up as much as possible, quickly as possible, and this track wants to start coming down. So we want to hold C. Oh no, we don't need to, we're fine. So you can start to come down. Actually, I guess I could. Do I want to use the flying junction? It's not accurate though. No, I don't think it's accurate in this particular instance. It looks like it's more of a bridge than like a concrete box. So I don't think I'm gonna use it in this particular instance. Just want to be able to get across that. That is a little bit of a ski jump, but it's what's needed to get this over here. We've generated a bridge anyway. Actually we're quite high up there. So let's put that in, and then I don't really want to bridge that long, because then we may as well have used the whatchamacallit, but I think what I'll use is this steel construction bridge here, because it's just a bit more forgiving. I think that could be doing. That's pretty slow considering this is going to be the West Coast main line up towards Gravelly Hill. I think that's sort of the right direction. And then is this track actually going underneath? It is. Yeah, we actually got quite a bit of wiggle room there actually in the end. Maybe if I delete some of this and then curve it back in. Let's have a look. Yeah, the catenary's not glitching through the track, so that's all fine. That's all good. Right, okay, we'll take that, and I think what I'll do is I'll just watch the bridge not being able to, collision now. Lift you up a little bit then. Just want to try and shorten this bridge a little bit. No, I don't want that. I want to be building a bridge. But we will go with this one here, because it's just a little bit more forgiving, and I think we'll just have to live with 40. Unfortunately, yeah, this bridge should be straight, but we just can't. We haven't got the space for a straight bridge. And then where's that road? So we're curving in towards Coventry, like so, and then as we have an autosave, I think I just might straighten this bridge a tiny little bit. It just looks a little bit rubbish, so we will make it a little bit straighter, and obviously we get a bit of a higher speed as well, but we will use that because the girder bridges aren't that forgiving on curved bridges. So this actually wants to be right, okie dokie. This wants to be heading towards Lichfield actually. Well, yeah, Gravelly Hill and then with Lichfield, so we do need to put a bit of a curve on that as well. Let's try and get that going in this sort of correct direction. Right, so that's on there. Then we need a little bit of a switch off here, like so, and then this wants to come up towards that track there. So what we'll do is we'll put a little tiny stub on first, pressing C so it doesn't snap, and bring that down so we're not. Oh, that's weird. I've never known track to do that before. That's really strange. Let's just come back a little bit, holding C again. That was really strange. It was actually lifting the track up. I didn't really want it to do that. So bring this back, kind of put a little bit of a lift on it, a little bit, like that, and then we can start going uphill towards this, and that's good. And then that just goes straight into the side of that. Straight into the side of that. What does that look like? No, we've got a little bit of glitching going on there. So let's do the same, do a little bit of a stub, press C so it doesn't snap. Do your switch. No, I'm holding the wrong thing. Yeah, so build your little tiny switch holding C, like that, good. And then just from here, should be straight into there then. Or maybe if we get rid of that track and then just from there straight into there, and just double check that looks alright. We do have a little bit of... How have I managed to break that? No, not acceptable. Try that again. Right, so from here, hold C. Maybe if we make the stub a little bit longer then. Just about there maybe. Lift that. Just zoom in, spinning round just to make sure. So, like that. Like that. Yeah, good. And then can we just come on straight to there? No, maybe not like that then. Straight from there onto there. Is that alright? Yes, I think that's okay. Right, so it looks like this track here actually can probably be a little bit more curved, but we're pointing in the right direction anyway, which is towards, like, we'll have Birmingham International Airport and then we'll have Coventry over there. So we're getting somewhere anyway. And then we've got this track which comes round. Again, it is all very slow, this track around here, unfortunately. And then sort of alongside. I want it the same height though. which I think is about that, because we've got some strange things happening with this junction now, right? So we've got that switch in there, and then that switch, another one there, needs to be in place, and I think that's that done. And that's all relatively accurate, I think. Next thing is we need a track, so this comes close to this track here, but then kind of diverges off a bit like that. But we do have a switch in there, so hopefully this is at the same height. Is it? I know that looks like it's... No, that looks fine. So we've got a switch in there, and we've got a switch just after the bridge, about there, on a curve, like so, and then another switch. Very lots of switches, very complicated arrangement around here, like so, and then we have another third track there, and then we need another switch to there. It is slow again, but I can't see these being... I'm not sure what's, if any, services will be using this junction anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it too much, but I just want to make sure that the tracks are actually there. Something like that, and then we want another track coming off here, like so. I think that's right. Is it? So we've got that coming off, and then we want another switch here. Very, very busy. Very, very complicated. Right, so next we have to kind of orientate ourselves again. So this track here, these 3 tracks, or it will be 2 eventually. Not entirely sure if they're electrified actually, but they want to be heading towards Worcester, Redditch direction. So these are going to have to curve quite a lot. And then we've got these 2 tracks here, obviously going towards Coventry, and these 2 tracks doing something as well. So there's a lot going on here. Right, so let's try and get this built. I can't do that again, that's annoying. Right, can I just put a node in, get rid of that, and that, and that. Right, so these tracks here, first of all, we'll just have this one curving, and then we'll just make sure, where's Redditch Worcester? So something a bit like, oh no, not like that, something a bit like that, where's making sure we are pointing towards Worcester. So we've got our sort of direction, that's Solihull, that's fine. So these 2 tracks here, actually, get rid of that, these go off somewhere else entirely, so we'll put them in there. You'll have to go underground, and you have to be quite slow again. And then can I just put in a node? Oh no, it's not going to let me do that. No, it's not happy with that, because all I need to do now is come up. Right, can I put a node in here? I can. Just delete that little bit of track, because this wants to come up as quickly as possible, and this one wants to be going underneath. Yeah, again, very slow, unfortunately. But you should be able to get over that, no problem. Come on, that should be easy. Yeah, again, I don't know if this probably should be electrified, shouldn't it? Right, so come down as quickly as possible, and you want to come up. Yeah, this is where the 0 height bridge would probably be helpful. Where does this want to point, actually? Wants to be sort of pointing in the Tamworth direction. I think what I'll have to do is get rid of that. Maybe swing this around a little bit, more of an arc then, but it does need to be heading towards Tamworth for it to be accurate, which is somewhere like that over there. And then this wants to come up and over. Come on, just little bit of a bridge. Should be. Can't. Have to come out in more of an arc then. So what we'll do is we'll use the paintbrush and we'll paint a little bit. So this is where the track currently is. As that paintbrush is stuck, good. So we just need a tiny bit of extra room to give ourselves some wiggle room. So maybe that will do the job, and then just get this track straight over the top, like so. Good. And we'll just use, I think we'd be able to get away with a girder bridge for this. I'm going to bring it down a little bit so it doesn't look like it's popping a wheelie. Something a bit like that. Not possible, what am I? Yeah. What's not possible and why? Just 40 miles per hour. Sometimes it does these weird little bits of track which just, there's no other reason for them to do that. Because that should just be straightforward. Now I'm joining, I think what I'm doing here is I'm joining the wrong track as well. What's going on? So this, I'm lost now. Right, get rid of that, and that, and that. Keep that bridge in place just for reference. Right, so you curve round. So yeah, we want 1, 2, yeah, why isn't it letting me do that? Right, let's get rid of that switch. Remembering that switch exists, chuck that in there, replace the switch, and then we've got our 3 tracks like that, I think. And then you want to start, actually can I, I'm only going to be able to do this, I don't think I am. Oh, I am. Oh, that's good. It's nice and, although it does look a little bit ugly. Right, so still heading towards Coventry. Can I get this bridge over here? Oh yeah, still let me do it. That's nice. That's what we like to see. And if I just, oh no, press the wrong thing. Bring that into there. Like so. No, I just want to go to assets quickly. Right, so we want one of these with no walls, single track, rear. I just want to make sure I can put one of these on without it fouling the track, which looks like it's fine. And we'll just put 2 on here, maybe middle. Don't really want to be doing this just yet, but I just wanted to make sure that that could be built without fouling this line here, because it would just look rubbish otherwise. Right, so we are slowly getting somewhere. This is going to be very, very slow, 40. But you want to join, right? Okie dokie. 2 bits of track. Heading towards Redditch, Solihull sort of direction. Just stay on the surface, and then you want to join up with you. I think. Yeah. I think we're getting there. Right, so we've got this track. That's doing that. That's all good, I think. And then you want to start coming back up to the surface over here somewhere, like that. And then we've got 2 tracks. So we need I've got 3 drawings for this because it's so much going on. Still wanting to be heading up towards Tamworth direction, like so, and then we've got tracks coming off here which want to join up with those as well. So can I get away with that? I think I might be able to. Come back to this drawing. So no, actually they don't want to come together, so hold C, just build that in, press N just to dip that down, like so, and then just straight, no, actually, getting all my drawings all over the place now. Right, so you stay on an embankment, on the flat, like so. And then just a nice, simple bridge. We'll use the grey girder again, like so. And then that looks like it's actually got a bit of a curve on it, has it? Let's try that again. So I just want it to be absolutely dead straight. And on the flat. Flat. Flat, flat. Oh, it's going downhill a tiny bit, but it looks, by eye, it looks flat. And then just where is that little snapping point where it tells you it's perfectly straight? I think it's about there. And then we can curve this then off towards Coventry. So in fact, it doesn't look that ridiculous. I think it's more, obviously everything's more curved than it really ought to be, but I think all in all that's not too bad. Let's go to construction. So we've got this with the no, so this is going to be rear. You're gonna just, ooh, no, damn, right. Can I just extend this bridge? Is it going to let me build the bridge? No, okay, get rid of you. Nice bridge. It's going to let me extend it, good. Right, so hopefully, oh, it's brought it closer to this side this time. Right, so what I'll do is I'll do the trick I did down in when I was building the London tracks. Get rid of the U for now. Just a little 3rd track there, and then a nice simple girder bridge, and it just pushes the edge of where the bridge meets the ground off a little bit further. So I think I might have needed to have done that. Let's see if I can get away with buttress here, which you can. We'll have no walls on it on either side, but that's not the end of the world. And then we'll go for middle, something like that. Single one there, nope, 1, like so. Yeah, that bridge is going up in the air a little bit. I don't actually, why is it doing that? Oh, yeah, it had to, didn't it? Did it? Apparently it did, to meet up with that. And then these 2 bits of track want to meet up. Now, I'm not entirely sure if these are electrified, actually. I need to find out. But we want, so these come back together. Got a switch in around here, and then these just switch straight into the side. Yeah, that'll work, I think. Just have a look at that, make sure there's no horribleness going on. That all looks fine, I think. And then we've got another little bit of a complicated junction around here where these 4 tracks join up. Just make sure, actually, I'll just double check these again. Actually, no, I think these are pointing in slightly the wrong direction. So we'll get rid of these, get rid of them all, and you as well. Maybe a little, no, I don't want to get rid of too much more. So Nuneaton is where these want to be pointing. There is another piece of track which obviously goes off towards Tamworth, but these want to be in more of a Nuneaton direction for now. So we'll get you in there, and then obviously get rid of some of this. So from here, join Too Much Curve. What was that? Too Much Curve. Yeah, like so. So again, yeah, this Grand Union Junction is a lot more elongated than it needs to be, than it should be. But we've got all of the elements of the junction in the correct places, which is the main thing, which is what I'm happy about. Can I get a buttress in here without fouling? Let's see. I can. Good. Right, so let's put one of them in and then one of them in here as well, just to give that a little bit of a finish. Just looks so much better, doesn't it? Even on these bridges which aren't designed for them, it just makes the whole thing look a little bit better. Right, so I'm just going to double check this one more time. Yeah, actually, I have just taken a look. I know because of the scale and everything, and because of trying to get bridges in, it's all a little bit stretched out and elongated. I think, right, what I want to do is, Nuneaton is over there, so we'll just have it straight, I think, for a little bit. Get rid of this track here and then just bring this in like so. And then this track here, I think I do need to work on this a little bit. It was my sort of haste to get point towards Lichfield, which is over there. I kind of curved it in a little bit, probably sooner than it should have. So I think what we'll do is I'll have this pointing towards there, so even it might be quite straight actually. I just want you to snap to there. Girder bridge then. Yeah, girder bridge. Not dipping down. Just on the flat. Yeah, because these two pieces of track, so this one here and this one here, are supposed to be a lot closer than I've got them, but just because of the way the junction worked, they're not kind of lining up quite accurately, unfortunately. But never mind, if it's, as long as I kind of represent it as good as I can, then I'm not too unhappy. Some compromises obviously do have to be made because of the scale and everything. Yeah, just get that there and then that into there and that. Yeah, no, not happy with that now. Can I do this again? Right, get rid of you. Should be able to be a lot more closer. Yeah, a lot closer to that track. So that's something a bit like that. And then straight up to there. And then basically, yeah, this is like, they're quite close together, so like gravelly hills around here, and then this can start to curve off towards Lichfield now with 70. Yeah, I think I'll take 70. And then this wants to be starting to head towards Nuneaton. So if I put a bit of a curve, where's Nuneaton? It is over there. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. Not unhappy with that, I don't think. Given that everything's just a little bit off, I think, and obviously just to get the bridges in, you have to go out further than you probably ought to. I know I could have used the flying junction mod, but it wouldn't have been accurate, I don't think. Right, next little bit is to try and get these two tracks together. Now I'm not sure what's going on here. There's a lot. So you're coming in together and there's lots going on. So I think first things first, we'll just have some track running alongside itself. Right, and then we want a switch in there. Is it going to do that without looking ugly? Just make sure before we commit. Yeah, that's fine. And then we want another switch kind of parallel with it to about there, I think. Yeah, and then a switch from, so yeah, want another two side by side switches like so. Again, this is going to be elongated, unfortunately. Right, so we've got that. So we've got that switch there. We want another one here, or do we? Yes, we do. And then get rid of this track here, and then another switch. Actually, no, that is, from what I can see on open rail map, that's not accurate. So if we go something like that, holding C, something like that, and then these tracks appear to like merge into this one. I mean, it might be wrong, but that's how it sort of seems to look. And then we just got like a single track section then. And then we'll just continue some tracks off to, oh, where's Nuneaton? We're not facing in the right direction. Need to always have Nuneaton in our minds, just so we're pointed in the right sort of direction. So we've got those there. We got another switch here, and then another switch around here. Now this is where things kind of are a little bit made up. So again, Coventry in view, over towards Coventry. So we've got that switch in, something like that, and then we're going to have another switch going back on to that track, and then another switch there, and then we want a switch coming off here, and then we just want a piece of track coming round like so, and then what we're going to have is just some bits of track here. Now I want that to be perfectly flat and on the straight. So this now is, I'm not going to build it as it is like super accurate because it's really complicated, but I'm just going to represent the Freightliner terminal. Now I couldn't remember if on my service diagram map I did include some freight paths, so I do want to include some freight. I think I've got a Tilbury up to Drift in by Rugby, is it, or somewhere on the West Coast Main Line. And then there was another service which was Southampton up to Birmingham. I'm not sure if it actually comes to here or if there's another terminal, but we will put a few tracks in anyway. I might come back in at some stage and maybe put in some containers and things, do a little bit of detailing, because this is an intermodal, Freightliner intermodal terminal by the looks of things here. And then I'm not sure where this track goes, if it does anything actually, but that's as far as my drawings go, because that's all I wanted to do in today's episode. So it's, yeah, I'm not too unhappy with it actually. Obviously the speeds could be a little bit better I think, but overall we've got quite a complicated junction build and it all seems to work, and the switches and things aren't ugly I don't think. Just double check them, and they've got some quite complicated arrangements. I'm not going to put any signals in until I put some rail services on, because to be honest I don't know what's going where. Obviously we've got basic one, Birmingham New Street, Birmingham International Airport, no, Birmingham International Airport, no, Birmingham International Airport, somewhere around here, near Solihull, yeah, and then off towards Coventry, and then we've got a line going towards Nuneaton. We've got lots more shenanigans going on around here with tracks going round off towards Tamworth, and then Lichfield, which obviously does need to curve quite a lot more to get towards Lichfield, but I think I'm not too unhappy. I think that's quite a good little junction. Obviously I've got to do some bit of paint work to make it look a little bit nicer, and obviously add some detailing, but other than that, pretty pleased overall. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Obviously again, no train ride unfortunately, but I will just leave you with the junction as it looks now, just to kind of take some of that in, because it's quite a complicated Grand Junction. So I'm going to leave it there for today and say until next time, bye bye.